Okay, so here we are, Tesla Model 3, rear-wheel drive. What do I want to say? Anyway, it's in red. So I've been ever since we started talking about Model 3. I've been dreaming of getting a Model 3. Yes, would it compete with my Model Y? In some ways, yes. But let's face it, this is a much sportier sedan than a Model Y can ever be. And I can never imagine ordering a Model Y in performance. Not that the car I get was performance, but there it is. And so my question to the salesman is the red. Been struggling with the red. I mean, yes, it's 2000 option, but is it the red I want? I don't know. But here it is. I will admit, out in the sunlight, this looks pretty nice. Okay, there we go. There's a manufacturer plate, so it's a demo. There's our trunk. And I'm sure y'all have seen what the trunk looks like from the loaner I had the one time. Anyway, just like the Y, there's the button. Closes up. All right. Okay, so this car is set for me. There you go. Oh. Okay, not too bad getting in. I feel like I'm sitting further back than I do in a Y. And, you know, that's probably somewhat true. But it's okay. So, one of the questions you might have is, I heard LFP is the greatest thing in the world. Well, okay, it depends how you look at it, but software, additional information, there's low voltage. Low voltage is lithium ion. High voltage, lithium iron phosphate. Oh, there's a little icon there. What does it say? We recommend that you charge up to 100%. At least once a week. Okay. All right. So take that away. Don't care about that. Anyway, that gives us some information there. Garage door opener. So premium speakers. So obviously this is an upgraded car. This is not the semi-premium. Let's see, autopilot, FSD computer. So it has a computer. It doesn't say in here, but I can tell you that. Where did I find it? Oh, up here. So this has enhanced autopilot installed. Premium connectivity for the radio and for the maps, that kind of stuff. So there you go. It has 302 miles on it. Go to trips. So I just reset trip A while I was there. So I've gone 5 miles. Average energy used so far is 236 watt hours per mile. Okay. Of course, that was highway. 1 kilowatt hour used. So not bad so far. So this is a black interior, although the above the belt line is gray. So there you go. Let's hop in the back, shall we? Okay, so this is the rear seat behind where I would be sitting if I was driving the car. And the question is, do I fit? And the answer is yes, I do actually. So, yeah, I can barely put my flat hand there in front of my knee. Of course, the other knee's over here, but if I put the other knee over here, but that's pretty comfortable. What I have, so I do have this little pillar here. I mean, it feels close to my head, but it's not disturbing my head. The other part's okay. There's the rear deck. Remember the old days when we used to lay down on the rear deck and go to sleep? Oh, whoops. Looks like a little thing here. Okay. So other than that, yeah, this looks pretty good. Yeah, it's interesting. I've seen pictures and I hadn't associated it. For some reason, the Model 3 has these little things up here. My Model Y doesn't have that at all. Okay, whatever. So this is the front. Now that I've looked at the two side by side, it's really obvious that's much smaller. But, you know, it's fine. All right. Okay, so I'm taking all the videos. I'm sure there's more. If you were here, you'd ask more questions. It's largely set up like the Y, except this is so much lower, which explains why the front is so much smaller. But so one of the questions was, how do I feel about the red? The red is not quite as bright as I might want, but it's pretty good. So that part's good. I like how I fit in the car. I feel like I'm further back, so that's going to take some getting used to. But then again, I mean, if it's a sports sedan, it's a sports sedan. Not that it's a real sports sedan, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I think the 0 to 60 time was like 5.8 seconds, 5.3, something like that. I don't remember which one. Which is, you know, even compared to my Model Y, long range is kind of slow. But it's good enough, right? And it actually will accelerate well. So I don't know if you can all see that, but the little wood accents, I kind of like. I mean, the Model Y does not have these side accents. It just cuts off and is black. Anyway, there you go. Yes, now that I've looked at it, now I face a bigger problem. Okay, do I really want to go whole hog and go for red? Because the way I see it is, yes, will I pay more to get the red? Okay, yes. But my alternative is buy white and then wrap it with red. And it seems like the price is going to come out to be about the same either way. Or maybe it'll be even more expensive wrapping it. I don't know for sure. I haven't asked. But there you go. I think I'd rather just have it plain old red and be happy with it. But anyway. Choices. Okay. Anyway, I have more things to think about, which is what my intent is here. And hopefully I've shared some of my thoughts on this. Obviously, this car, start with that, sport wheels. It has the premium sound system. So, you know, that throws off what I'm looking at. But anyway, that's fine. And it doesn't have the floor mats, interestingly, which it's not supposed to. Anyway, onward, upward, charge. Okay, so I had reset trip A shortly after starting, so I covered more than 9 miles, but okay, whatever. 2 kilowatt hours, average energy 284. Now, to be fair to this car, yeah, I did some hard accelerations. There you go. Anyway, let's see, 212 miles to 77%. So if I was driving it much more conservatively, maybe it would have done better, but I didn't. So there it is. Okay, so just a few follow-up thoughts on this Model 3 SR. So I did try a few accelerations. I mean, it was on French Road. There was a lot of traffic around. So anyway, did it accelerate? Yes. Compared to a Model Y, the Model Y I have, I mean, there's a difference. Okay, so officially, Tesla says that this SR will do 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds. The Model Y I have goes 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. Now, that's okay. The actual ability to duplicate that may be somewhat limited. I'll give you that. And to be fair to the Model 3, yes, there was other traffic around, so I was pretty limited in what I could actually accomplish. So I'm not trying to throw stones at them. I'm just saying that admittedly it's a little bit slower. Now, the SR has a LFP pack. So where I'm going is older Model 3 SRs, SR Plus, whatever they were 5.3 seconds as opposed to 5.8. So I would suggest that perhaps with the LFP, it doesn't have quite the snap. And I've heard that about LFP. LFP is great for life, but it doesn't have quite the energy output that the NMC batteries do. But where I guess where I'm really going is, if you're coming from an old ICE car, then oh yeah, this car is going to accelerate. It's going to be great. If you're coming from a Model Y long range, or Model Y dual motor long range, in case you're in somewhere other than the U.S., it's going to be a little disappointing in that respect. Now, how often do you accelerate like that, right? Once in a while, yeah, okay. But most of the time, no. Okay, so that's acceleration. If it's important to you, you should be aware of it. If it's like, yeah, but this is a great car for the price, then go buy a Tesla or the Model 3. Okay. The other thing I recalled was there was some discussion somewhere, I forgot where it was, of the range being limited. Actually, I thought I saw it on a Moroni sticker. But anyway, the charging rate is somewhat limited. Okay, so 120 volt, it's going to be the same as a Model Y. At least I assume it is. I mean, that's on the low. That's what, 1.5 kilowatts an hour. But it is limited into 40 volt. So my Model Y can go 11.5 kilowatts an hour. The Model 3 SR, the 2023 Model 3 SR, is limited to 6 kilowatts an hour, I think it is. It's 32 amps, which I translate to 6 kilowatts. And so it may not be exactly right. So anyway, if you buy a wall charger, it'll work just fine, but the car will limit to 32 amps. So you will not get quite as fast a charge. Of course, the concept is you drive into the garage, you plug it in. I mean, in the evening, right? You come home from work, whatever, come into the garage, plug it in. You're not going to look at it again until the morning when you leave again. During that time, at 6 kilowatt hours, it will do a pretty good job of charging. So it won't be a big problem on a wall charger or on a portable connector. Running at 32 amps, not a problem. So that should be fine. That's the two main points. So I couldn't. The answer I got from the Tesla representative was supercharging would be at the same rate. Something in the back of my head is saying there was something about having a lower rate, but maybe that came from an article where somebody didn't really know what they were doing with charging. I don't know. I don't know why it'd be limited, since it's, well, possibly LFP, right? I don't know. I haven't looked at that. I mean, I don't know that part. But there it is. So where this is all bringing me around to is, yes, I want a Model 3. But if I go to a Model 3 and it doesn't perform as good as a Model Y, I'm not going to be quite as satisfied. So I'm kind of leaning towards, I mean, long range is not available right now. I'm leaning towards, if they announce when the Model 3 long range comes back out, I would want to take a look at that. Yes, it's going to cost me more money. Okay. Which means my loan's going to be higher. That kind of not so happy part. But whatever. It's and the alternative way, the other side of the coin is if I were to go used. So I started out, I was thinking of used Model S. And I've kind of allowed people to talk to me, or they haven't been talking to me directly, but show me things with Model S, older Model S's that I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to have to deal with that. And it's the pop-out doors on Model S, they're going to fail sooner or later. And I'm not sure I want to deal with that part of it. Anyway, so I've kind of moved up to, well, what if I got a Model 3 used? Okay, so Tesla has Model 3s, but they're starting around 32, 33,000. Well, that means you can't get the used car tax credit for it. So that's $4,000 I'm leaving behind. If I'm buying used, part of the idea is you want the $4,000 tax credit, which is why I started looking at Model S in the first place. The other than having Model S would be cool. I mean, and if they get one with a sunroof, yeah, that'd be, it's not convertible, but not too far off. But anyway, that's another story. This is about the Model 3. So I think where I'm at is, yes, even though the red cost $2,000 more, I think I'm left with, I would like a Model 3. I'm kind of hoping next week they announce something about the Model 3 long range, and quite possibly that would be the dam breaker. Okay, I think that would be the thing. But let's see what Investor Day brings us, and then we'll go from there. Anyway, good luck. Look, the Model 3 short standard range, want to keep calling it short range anyway. Standard range, 272 miles, more than enough for driving around town, more than enough to go to Houston and back. Now, you'll have to supercharge somewhere? Yes, absolutely. But that shouldn't stop you from going there. I mean, sooner or later, if you go to Houston and say I went to Houston in my Jetta, I may not have to put fuel in the car, but if I'm going by Buc-ee's, I'm going to check to see what their price is, because their price on diesel is usually pretty good. It all depends on the store, but I mean, so go and buy one just doesn't make sense. Anyway, go check out the SR yourself. See how it works. If you're a person who cares about acceleration, try to find a quiet place where you can accelerate without any traffic being in the way. But I mean, I would go for it. Like I said, I'm harder to please on that respect, but I already have a Model Y, so that's part of it. Anyway, good luck to y'all.